Greetings, everyone. This is old CaptainStrangelife. Now you know why they call me Strange. I'm going to do some horror DVD reviews and some other things. I got some unpacking to do. I got some packages that arrived. So I'm going to swing right down into it and get to the first DVD, which is a double feature from Lionsgate. And it features War of the Colossal Beast, if you can see that there, and Earth versus the Spider from 1958. I bought this for the only for the one movie, the Earth versus the Spider. War of the Colossal Beast, I've seen that before, and it isn't anything that I want to see twice. It's a pretty bad B-list horror movie, but I know there's a whole fan base out there for bad horror movies, and if you like bad B-list horror movies, then this one is for you. Except it's not that much of a horror movie; it's more of a monster film. The Earth versus the Spider from 1958. Put that down there. This is about it's a pretty interesting film. I love all these movies from the 1950s that have the large monster films that came out during that period. This one is about a giant spider that's sprayed with DDT or some kind of a chemical at the cave that it calls its home, right nearby where it actually killed somebody and smashed a guy's car. And it was supposedly killed when it was sprayed with the DDT, and then these high school students, along with their science teachers and the sheriff, they bring the thing back to the high school gymnasium where they're having a dance. So they have this local garage band playing rock and roll, and I guess the rock and roll brings the thing back to life, and it starts a rampage in the town. It's kind of funny. The rock and roll brings the thing back to life, and it starts a rampage. It's interesting. It's funny just for that. It's worth seeing just for that. I love those old films from the 50s. Some of them are pretty bad and not worth watching twice, but that one is. And then next up I have another one. Earth versus the Spider, except this one is from 2001 with Dan Aykroyd. And let me put this thing down here. You can see it there. This one's about an obsessive comic book fan who deliberately injects himself with a formula at the laboratory where he works. And he works there as a security guard, and this formula eventually gives him the ability to it gives him all the abilities and the powers of an arachnid, and eventually it has very serious side effects, and it's very interesting to see all the ooze and it has nice gore effects, you know, and it's kind of creepy with all these with all the liquids that are oozing, and as he's mutating into an even worse form of an arachnid than he was. So yeah, I would highly recommend it, especially for comic book fans. This is another. It's kind of a dark horror comedy, and it's pretty good. So that's recommended. And just very quickly, I know that Dakin Howlett reviewed this on his channel, Comic Book Villains. But interesting thing about this, it has DJ Qualls, this guy over here in the Fantastic Four shirt right there. He started an episode of The Big Bang Theory called the Lubenfeld Decay, where he plays a cousin of Sheldon, and it involves, you know, lies within lies within lies. It's kind of funny. I just thought I'd mention that real quick. This is a great movie, by the way, Comic Book Villains. It's a lot better than I thought it would be when I first saw it, and it's even better now when I saw it a second time, and now I bought the DVD. So it's a great film if you want to see something besides horror for a change. And also, here I got a couple of these movies here I wanted to show you. I showed you these films in a previous video. I reviewed these, the Q, the Winged Serpent, Larry Cohn film. But I had gotten this signed. I bought these movies before I went to the Revival Theater where Larry Cohn was going to appear. And I reviewed them before I went there. And then I took them with me, and he signed them for me. He signed them twice, actually, on top because he didn't think it turned out that well. And then he signed it again in black on the bottom. So that was kind of weird, but that's alright. He signed it twice. And then this one, God Told Me To, which is another great horror film, Larry Cohen, and he signed that for me there. But I reviewed these in a previous video, so check those out. And now, let me put the fan thing up here. I got an unboxing. See what's in here. I have no idea. I had these for a couple of weeks here, and I forgot what they were. Let's see. Galaxy of Terror. Well, we got to take a look at this. The Galaxy of Terror. I think that's Roger Corman, and this is about a spaceship crew that is sent to a planet to find out what happened to the previous population of, I guess, scientists or the previous crew. And they become, when they land on the planet, they become subjected to their worst fears and their worst, the horrors of their imaginations. And there's a famous scene in here. I guess everybody that's seen this film remembers this particular scene of a giant millipede or slash caterpillar type of insect, a humongous insect that is raping a hot female crew member. So it has an interesting concept, where the worst people's worst fears become the reality. And that's a pretty good film. I can recommend that. And the next one is another Roger Corman, The Forbidden World. I wish I had the movie poster for this. This one's about, let me see if I can remember this one. It's what the heck was this about again? I think it was a plot that involves a Federation officer who investigates a scientific experiment that went wrong, and he finds the result of that experiment feeding upon the scientists who created it. It's not a great film by any stretch of the imagination, but it's all very interesting. It is Roger Corman, and it is a cult classic. So I would recommend that. And something else interesting about this is that in 1983, it was nominated for a Saturn Award for special effects, believe it or not. It's 1983, so you gotta put it in its proper, in the proper time period, for special effects, as they were in 1983. But it did get a nomination for that. So those are nice. I'll leave that there for a moment while I have... I got another box here to unload. Open up here. And I can't remember what was in here either. I know what I ordered, but I forgot. Okay. Alright. Let's see here. Let me get these out of the way. And Oh yeah, you know I love the Lounge series of music. Here we got Bongo Land, the Lounge music series, and Bossa Novaville. I love listening to these CDs, and they make good background music for the videos too. Next up, a horror movie that I just opened and just got is House 2. I don't think that this House 2 is as good as the first one. The first one was much better, but I seen this one a long time ago and I don't remember that much about it. But since I have the first one, I wanted to get the second one, and yeah, it's just getting weirder. Well, after I see this, maybe I'll tell you if I remember how much I liked it or hated it. So that's that. And this other film, the last one, is not actually a horror movie, but it is an interesting film for horror fans. It stars John Goodman, and it's called Matinee. John Goodman, he's just great in this film as a film promoter who comes, to a small town during the Cold War, and specifically during the Cuban Missile Crisis, and he decides to revive a local movie theater by presenting an array of horror movies, old horror movies, and he provides all the cheesy kind of gimmicks inside the theater, like guys or people dressed up in costumes and suits, and they run down the aisle and try to scare people. Then he has stage props and special effects. I think I remember a skeleton on a cable that flew down above the audience's heads. It's a great film. It's funny as all heck, and it's just great, to see John Goodman as this movie promoter. Unbelievable, great acting. Well, anyway, that's about all what I have for right now. I just wanted to do a quick one, and let's see here. What the heck am I doing here? Yeah, I was just trying to get my oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I tried to get the special effects going here, if you can call it that. Wait a minute. Bear with me for a moment. I got a nice special effects here. No, I don't. Oh, there we go. Took a while, but I got it. Anyway, this is Captain Strangelife signing off, and tune in again next time. And thanks for watching this.